March is National Women's History Month, and this is day 2 of Women in Our History that you need to know about. I think you probably know about this one, but today's person is Miss Hedwig Eva Maria Kessler. She was born November the 9th, 1914, and passed away January the 19th of 2000. This woman is someone that you need to know. Let's talk about her. She is known in today's world as Miss Hedy Lamarr, the famous actress, but there is much more to this woman that we need to know about. She fled one of her husbands. She was married 6 times. She fled one of her husbands very early in life, and he was an ammo manufacturer, and I don't know why she left, but she fled him and ran away to Paris secretly. While she was in Europe, she went to London. She had already established herself as an actress in Czechoslovakia, but while in London, she met with the famed MGM head Louis B. Mayer. This was in 1937, so she was still very young. He offered then to put her under contract. She came to the United States, and she was an instant hit. She did several films with major leading men and was always in demand because she was not only a good actress, but she was just absolutely stunning, and I'm going to include some pictures of her at the end of this as well. She was a movie star and a film star. She got her star on the Walk of Fame in 1960. She left MGM she was under contract. Her contract was up with MGM. She started her own production company, Whoa Girl, in 1945, and was relatively successful with that. But all of this, her movie career is not why she's famous. Miss Hedy Lamarr had a hobby, and although she had no formal training, she liked to design and draft inventions, including one that was an improved stoplight that I guess improved whatever they had at the time. And she also invented a little tablet that dissolved in water and became a carbonated drink. Way to go. However, in the 1930s, when she was still married, one of her husbands was an arms dealer, and he always took her to these meetings because it improved his chances of closing the deal because of her looks. Well, she was no dummy, and she paid attention. During some of these meetings, she was talking to, some of the men were talking about wanting to find a better way to use torpedoes. The torpedoes were being sidelined by the enemy finding them. They wanted to use radio control, but if you used radio control, basically the short version, as I understand it, is the enemy could also tap into whatever radio frequency you were on and jam them. Well, later on, she met a man who was a composer and a pianist named George Antheil. She was telling George about this, and she couldn't figure out how to stop this. There surely was a way to stop this so the enemy could be defeated. Well, he was working on synchronizing player pianos so they could start at immediately the same time. They got their heads together and basically came up with a way, if you could synchronize them, then you could hop the frequencies and unsynchronize them. It would hop around and nobody could find out what that frequency was. And it worked. They took their invention to the National Inventors Council, and they told them no. And in fact, they told her, "Oh, honey, you might just want to go sell war barns instead." Yeah, isn't that sweet? Anyway, they submitted this to the National Inventors Council in December of 1940, and by 1941, the National Inventors Council had then introduced Mr. Antheil to the professor of engineering at Caltech, who then took it back to the National Inventors Council and tried to get a patent on it. Miss Hedy Lamarr, being the wise woman that she is, hired a team of lawyers, found all the information that they needed to show that it was hers, including drawings and all of the things that she had done on her own, and she was, on August the 11th of 1942, granted a patent for that technology. In 1997, Miss Lamarr and Mr. Antheil were granted the Electronic Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award and also the Booby Spirit, of Achievement Bronze Award. These awards are given to individuals whose creative lifetime achievements in the arts, sciences, businesses, or invention significantly contributed to society. So what does this technology mean to us? Miss Hedy Lamarr's little habit with no training is what has become Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS in our world today. That's right, a woman, an actress whose little hobby is today's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. So the second day of Women's History Month, Miss Hedy Lamarr, we salute you.